Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about some of my lures. Alright, in fall time what I look for in a skirt is it's got to have a real compact skirt. But I haven't used this jig in a while, so I still have a larger trailer on it. Like you see, way more compact. Like the net bait, pack a craw, hoax great little bait, or even a hoax fish craw. Skirt. What you really want to look for is a skirt that's really nice, so it flares out really nice on it. It's a nice pop. Something with a fall rate and a nice strong weed guard. Tip to remember with jigs is if the nose lines up with vertically, it's good for swimming. Lines up horizontally, it's good for pulling through cover. A great fall jig tip is I like rattles. I like rattles in my jigs. You can buy the rattle separately and hook it on, just put it past the bait keeper and you're good to go. Next up is the lipless crankbait. This is the Berkley B-. It's an amazing crankbait. If you ain't got it, that's because it's not out yet. But once it is, you need to go get one. When it's starting to get, throw these when it gets colder out. When the water's over 50 degrees, they really start hitting on these. When it's about that temperature, they love just on bait retrieve with a little bit of pop on it. I like great near grass lines. It's a great place to catch bass on these. It's still submerged and you got a little bit of clearance between the surface and that grass over that grass. If it does catch it, give a pop and you gotta wait. And that's when the bass will hit it. They love that. The only time I would dare throw a lipless crankbait is in the summer or in the coldest part of winter. Tackle-Box is that at home. I don't use that at home. I don't use it at all. You can do this. No real wrong way to reel in a lip. If you don't know what kind of lipless you want to go after, then first option, Bill Lewis. Even at Rep, they got them everywhere. Even at Walmart. I mean, you can catch brim on this. I do all the time. The only problem that I have is you catch too many fish for the paint to stay on. When I'm throwing mediums, I like a 7-foot rod, medium with a fast action. My front hook a little bit longer than my back hook, but you know they're too long when they can hook onto each other, because underwater, whenever you're casting, they will. See how I can't hook these? I can get close, but I can't hook them. That's how you know they're the right size. The square bill. This thing is interesting. It's made to bump off at every little bit of cover you can find. The bill makes it swim like that. Instead of getting caught up on the hooks, it hits it, bounces off. Once that bounce off happens, wait a second, because the bass will see that, think the fish is stunned, and hit it hard. That's what you're looking for with these things. A rod with the tip has lots of bend, because these things are going to do head shaking, all sorts of stuff. You want that rod to be able to just bounce along with their head. That way the hooks stay in. But you also need one with a strong back to be able to set these hooks in the first place. You don't need some crazy 80-pound braid like you do with a walking bait or anything topwater. 15 to pound test line. These things work great on that. Always cast past your target, then reel it in. It helps a lot. You won't spook the fish, and it'll help you land a lot more. Every piece of cover deserves more than one cast. Fish are going to be at different levels, on different sides of it, attack it from multiple angles. Remember, fishing is a 3-dimensional sport. You gotta go top to bottom and every angle around. Sometimes that bass just won't want to hit until it's right in front of his face. I prefer square bills with these nice rattles. You can hear these things. It's a lot like the B-. People are getting pretty inventive. They're square bills. You see this one? This one has texture on it so the bass feels the scales. This one's smooth and it's chartreuse with black top. I love that color. And nowadays they even have squishy ones. It has a squeezable body like a frog. So when bass bites it, he's gonna feel it. He's gonna squeeze it. He's gonna have a hollow body. It's gonna feel like a real fish. He's gonna hang on just that much longer, and that is awesome. That gives you enough time to set the hook and really feel that fight. All this talk about different kinds of rods and different lengths of rods confuses you. My recommendation is go to Pinnacle. Pinnacle has this awesome program where they're going out pro bass anglers and getting their opinions on what rod should go with which lure, and they're making them specifically for those lures. With them, the days of trying to figure out which action matches which is best you can go there and you can buy a spinnerbait rod, which works great with spinnerbaits. You can buy a square bill rod that goes great with square bills. Same with lipless. Everything that I mentioned on this list, they have a rod specifically made for that lure. This is how I keep all my tackle in condition. This thing, $10 at Walmart, waterproof. This is what I can sink as many boats as I want in my tackle. Inside, I have my stuff in another layer of waterproof casing. Those are all the only soft plastics I ever really. Over here, you got my finesse stuff over here, my Senkos and my cabin, my big bite bait, squirrel tails, heads, anything really. Yeah, wobble heads, anything really. These are great finesse baits. My finesse baits. Well guys, that's it. That's all I got for you. Those are my top favorite fall bass lures. Get out there and go fishing, try them out, and land some big ones.